Hello everyone and welcome to Kiki Crochet. In this video we're going to learn how to make thread Christmas ornaments. What we're going to need is a balloon. We're going to need cotton thread, and I think that this has only worked with cotton thread, so if anyone else has tried any other kind of yarn, type of yarn such as acrylic or anything else, you can tell us under the video so we can add it in the information. I'm using this kind of glue. In English, I searched and it's called Mod Podge. Well, in Greece, it's wood glue. And what I did is I thinned it with some water. So we want it to be a little thin. So you want it to be like liquidy. And I used one tablespoon, one full tablespoon of glue, and I added little by little water, and I stir it, because if you add all the water at once, you're gonna have small white pieces, and they're gonna stick on your work. Well, when it dries out, it's gonna come clear, but you don't want those little white pieces to stick on your work. At least I don't like it. So I stir it, and this is how it looks. I'm stirring it with a paintbrush. And what I'm gonna do is this work is done in two pieces. So first piece is you're gonna dip your yarn in the glue. You're gonna leave it in there for like 5 minutes until the yarn soaks with glue. And we want that because when the yarn soaks with glue, that's why we thin it with water, because if it's too hard, it won't the glue won't soak, the yarn won't soak with glue, so the project won't work. Because I tried this project a few times, and I was just putting some glue on the yarn, and when I popped my balloon, the yarn just shrinked with the balloon. So we dip the yarn, we wrap it around the balloon, and we leave it for about 24 hours, and this is what you're gonna have as a result. What you're gonna do when the glue dries, you're gonna go over it one more time with your glue, so it hardens enough, so when you push in your balloon, you see how the thread just separates from the balloon. When you do that and you see that your thread goes in with your balloon, that means that it's not hard enough, and that when you pop your balloon, your thread is going to shrink with your balloon. So you want to go over it one more time. So what I'm going to do, I'm using red cotton thread, and I'm going to soak it in my glue. And you want to leave it in there a little bit so it soaks. What you can do when you finish wrapping the yarn around your balloon, you can also add glitter to make it more shiny and more sparkly for Christmas. And I think that if you have elementary school kids, it's a fun project to do together. Well, you need the plastic bag on the bottom because it's going to get a little messy when we start wrapping the yarn around the balloon. So once you're done dipping the yarn in the glue, you want to leave a small strand outside so you can separate it later on. And when you start wrapping around, you're just going to cut the part that doesn't have any glue. So now let's wait 5 minutes. So our 5 minutes are up, and what we're going to do now is we're going to wrap the yarn around our balloon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this part over here that doesn't have enough glue. And I'm going to grab my yarn and wrap it around my balloon. I'm going to start from the top over here. And it's going to get a little messy. So I'm just wrapping around the balloon. You can wrap in any direction that you like. And it gets slippery and messy, so well, if you have enough glue from the first time, you might not need to go over it twice with the glue after the 24 hours. So you always want to check with a pen or something else, anything that's not pointy, to see if the yarn separates from the balloon. As I said before, you can wrap it around in any direction. So this is the end, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it in this cup over here. I use it for my craft, so it's a little dirty, so I'm gonna place it on here and I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours. So at this point I'm gonna let my balloon to dry for 24 hours, and I'm gonna bring to the front the balloon that has already been drying for 24 hours. And we see how in some parts the balloon separates, but in some parts the yarn, see how the yarn goes in a little bit? Well, in some places, see how here it doesn't separate and the yarn goes in with the balloon? Well, that's why we're gonna go over it one more time with my paintbrush. So we want to add a lot of glue. Don't be afraid to make it look messy, because this is going to dry out and it's going to become clear. So we're gonna let it dry for 24 more hours. And 25 hours later, this is how your thread ornament looks like. And what we want to do is we want to separate it. See how easily the balloon separates from the yarn? So our work is pretty hard. See, I'm squeezing it and it doesn't move, so that's good. So we want to go in these little spots over here and separate it. I'm using the opposite side of my crochet hook, so you don't want to use a pointy edge because the pointy edge is going to pop your balloon. So I think we've separated it nicely. So now we're going to pop our balloon. So now we're going to wait for the balloon, for the air to come out. See how nice our ornament looks? I'm actually pretty excited because I have wasted a lot of yarn and like 5 or 6 balloons until I come to this result, because I didn't know that I had to soak the yarn for about 5 minutes, and I also didn't know that I had to go through it twice with the yarn. So this is how our thread Christmas ornament looks like. And what you can do in order for not the glue to appear over here, you can just take some tweezers and try to remove it, or you can just cut it with a small pair of scissors. And what you can do now is, if you don't have any regular clips, you can use a paper clip and you can open it up and pull it through here. And this is how you can well, this paper clip is kind of big, but this is a way that you can hang your Christmas ornament on your Christmas tree. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe, like, and leave a comment if you liked the video. Thanks again. Bye bye.